r/iscredit. Non-American people, what's a thing that you don't understand about America? How much cereal selection you have? Why is that one Kansas, but the other one is not Arkansas? America explain. What do you mean it's Arkansas? Why they make you calculate your own taxes, if they know what you owe at? Why taxes not included in the price tag? The tipping culture is so foreign to me, I would be so scared to make a mistake or not tipping enough if I ever go to America, because it's not something which is common here in Denmark. Why do public restrooms include a small opening between the doors that allows passers-by to see you when you're taking a piss? My mom is from Moscow during the Soviet era, and she is confused why there is no teacher-student hierarchy. She thinks it's weird when teachers participate in school plays or speak to students informally. She also does not get pajama day. To her, it's just the weirdest thing in the world. In Russia, there is an important distinction between clothes for home and clothes for outside. They have a concept of home clothes, like your cozy or ugly clothes, that you are supposed to change into after school or work. At bedtime, you change out of your home clothes into pajamas. As a result, pajamas, for both adults and children, are considered extra private in Russia. My mom perceives pajama day as something extreme like wearing only undergarments to school. That's how private pajamas are considered to be in Russia. I went into a video store in San Francisco about 6 years ago and asked for the Australian film section, which of course didn't exist. But, the dude working there was super friendly and let me talk to him about Aussie films for tens of minutes. I guess I was homesick, he really made me feel welcome. I walked out at least an inch taller. I'm English, was born with cerebral palsy, I can walk but with a very noticeable limp. I came to America to visit friends who moved here, everyone was so friendly, hardly anyone commented on me disability. If they did it was just polite questions, not making fun of me. I loved it here, so much so I've been here for 23 years. For all of America's faults in recent years, the people here are just way more accepting of people in general. I was surprised how friendly Americans are in general, and the willingness to help with accurate directions. My BF is non-American and he says it's the ability to get food at any hour. How hospitable Americans are. They get a bad rap internationally for being arrogant/rude, however after spending a significant amount of time over there working and traveling I've found it to be the complete opposite. I spent a semester in the Midwest when I was in high school and it honestly changed my life. Back at home I was weird, I was too much, I always felt the need to be defensive because the culture at my home country was very critical of anything that was creative or questioned the status quo. But as soon as I got to my new high school in the US I started making friends left and right, I felt relaxed, I could be myself and my out-of-the-box qualities were the ones my teammates loved and appreciated about me. I joined a sport, it was the first time I ever felt content with myself and happy with my life since back at home I was bullied and emotionally, sometimes physically, abused by my own family and classmates and I was like oh happiness is possible for me. I had to go back home for another year and a half and armed with the new self-confidence I didn't suffer as much anymore but I still ended up coming back to the US to finish high school and I've been here ever since. I always say that my Midwestern city feels more like home to me than my old country ever did. People are very kind and non-judgmental. You can go to the grocery store in pajamas and nobody bats an eye. You can wear any outfit you feel like wearing and you can have whichever interest. People are supportive. The only way Americans will hate you is if you're rude and inconsiderate to others, or don't hold doors open for the people behind you. There's not as much, if any, visual sexual harassment and I don't constantly fear for my safety as much as I used to in my home country. I don't know how other cultures are but I sure do love American people. Aussie here. People complain that Americans are too loud, but that can actually sometimes be a good thing. There's been so many times when someone is being annoying in public, but nobody here says anything because we don't want to start a scene. I feel like an American would just tell the annoying person to shut up and actually fix the situation. The culture of just talking to people, strangers you don't know and just up and start a conversation with them or join a conversation. I'm British, and we go through great lengths to not talk to people, let alone opening up and pouring our hearts out to a random person. I do not understand why Americans are portrayed to be very racist and discriminating in most news or media around the world. I got to work for a couple of months in DC and prior to arriving, I was expecting to be racially discriminated against. I'm Asian, because of the things I see on the news. I was blown away by just how friendly and accepting the people are in general. Folks would just be striking random conversations with me while I'm crossing the street and wishing me a good day. Even if I spoke with an accent, people didn't mind and just talked to me as if they were speaking to another American. In all honesty, I felt more accepted by Americans as compared to fellow Asians when I visited Japan, Hong Kong, Korea, or Thailand. And off topic, but the original Chick-fil-A sauce is seriously delicious. I took a couple of bottles home because they were so good. I went to USA as an exchange student. Loved how the teenagers were so open-minded and the people were really nice. Literally everyone I met treated me like a long-lost friend, and my god, if you've never tried an American burger and milkshake, make it your first priority upon arrival. And don't get me started on Texas barbecue. Aussie here. Everyone has always been extremely polite and friendly to me each time I've been there. How you have to share a room with some complete rando when you go to college. Before COVID, I was friends with an exchange student from South Korea. Luckily, the family he was staying with were kind enough to let me take him out to experience some of the American teenage life. Took him to see a drive-in movie, eat at dinners, bowling with friends, go to football games and parties. He loved how teenagers could just go out as friends and do so much and be so close. Said that it was just like the movies. This is a running joke with my family. I'm usually the guy that tourists come to ask for questions. I love it though. My wife, after quite a few times in NYC, asked someone, "It was great to meet you. Can I ask you a weird question? Why did you decide to ask him?" His tattoos. Totally American themes. Ha. As an American, it really felt nice reading through comments about America that aren't just about how terrible it is and how the entire country and everyone in it is a joke to the entire rest of the world. It's a real nice breath of fresh air. I heard that the USA had shared mineral rights for all of its citizens, which is how they had the gold rush and how people can make a claim and just mine valuable minerals etc. out of the ground, whereas in the UK it's all owned by the Queen and you have to give any you find to her or throw it back. Why such good people as American citizens are governed by such assholes as American politicians. How you can say the word mirror without the use of any vowels. MRRRRRR. How kid-friendly it is. 99% of bars and restaurants are genuinely happy to accommodate kids. The National Park Service's Junior Ranger program, summer camps. Why did Ross, the largest friend, not simply just eat the other 5? Housing codes, and why all your front gardens are just grass, and identical. The amount off national parks. My dream came true in 2017 to make an RV trip southwest off USA. Yosemite blew my mind away. What is up with homeowner associations? Why would you pay to let a nosy neighbor, dictate what you can and cannot do on your own property? I understand living in an apartment block and paying maintenance fees etc., but in a suburban home? All the non-Americans saying how friendly Americans are have probably only ventured the cities. Next time try going to a small town, it will blow your mind. Had a friend visit a while back and was driving around town and he was shocked that we wave at each other. How social and friendly so many of you are. It was in Florida. They always talk about how friendly the people in Canada are, but as a Canadian I personally had better experiences talking with people in America than here. Nobody speaks a word here, but when I went to America, if there was somebody sitting next to me on a bench in the mall they would say hi or something. How your customer service got so good. As someone who's worked in the UK customer service industry for 10 years or so, yours blows ours away. 10 vacation days a year. There's life outside of work. Why do Americans put their TVs so high up the wall? I understand that sometimes it's because there's a fireplace below where it should be, but how do they even watch the TV without straining their necks? Does every worker have to file their own taxes, or am I just confused? Why your toilets have so much water in them? Just came back from a holiday there, very deep. Just seemed wasteful of water in some places I've heard with drought conditions before. Also, the gap in public toilet doors as well. I've heard people mention before on Reddit, but didn't realize until experiencing it. Never seen that gap anywhere else in the world I've been. Working 50+ hour weeks. The natural confidence. the ability to take your own space, in a positive and refreshing way. I come from Sweden, where I feel that kind of mentality is more uncommon, with a more tentative and ironic manner.